Proof 1. Your presence makes an impact without effort. You don't need to open your mouth to be noticed. Your silence has weight. Your presence commands respect, even when you don't want it to. People behave differently when you arrive. Some become uncomfortable. Others try to mask their insecurity. This happens because your energy activates what is hidden in others. Truths, fears, memories. You are like an invisible mirror, and not everyone is prepared to see themselves. It's not about charisma or appearance. It's as if you carry a light that illuminates everything around you, including what many try to hide. And the truth is that this light can be unsettling. That's why sometimes you feel that you have been rejected for no reason, or that your mere presence causes discomfort. But that's not your fault. It's just the reflection of the energy you carry. You may not even understand why you provoke such strong reactions. You must have thought, I didn't even say anything, and they treated me strangely. The explanation lies in what your soul transmits. Those with a high vibration impact dense environments. You don't need to do anything. The vibration of the spirit speaks for you, and those who are not ready to deal with it sense the discomfort. Being spiritually marked is to carry a force that cannot be explained logically. That's why some people avoid you, while others respect you without knowing exactly why. Your energy touches something deep in others, even if they are not conscious of it. Have you noticed how children or animals easily approach you? This happens because they sense the purity of your essence, and this is not something learned. It is natural. Proof 2. You are often rejected, but rarely forgotten. From an early age, you probably noticed that you were treated differently. No matter how hard you tried to fit in, there was always something that caused distance. People would pull away without explanation, or create judgments without real reason. And although it hurt to be excluded, over time, you realized that this was protecting you. You were not rejected for lack of value, but because your presence was too strong for many to handle. The truth is that those with a greater mission were not made to please everyone. The world tends to resist what it does not understand. And when someone carries an energy that reveals what is hidden in others, this can provoke discomfort. You may have been criticized for your sincerity, distanced for being genuine, or isolated for not following the same direction as the majority. Even so, you do not go unnoticed. Those who distance themselves continue to remember you. Your presence leaves marks. They may never say it, but many have been touched by your words or by your silence. You don't need to stay in contact to make an impact. Your energy remains in the places you have passed through, like a seed that germinates silently and one day blooms in the mind and heart of those who have known you. This recurring rejection is not a punishment. It is a necessary separation. People who do not share your mission or respect your light are not able to walk alongside you. Being distanced is not loss. It is protection. God does not remove people from your life to punish you, but to make space for connections that are aligned with your true purpose. Proof 3. Children and animals feel safe around you. If you often attract the attention of children and animals spontaneously, this is not a mere coincidence. These beings have a natural sensitivity that goes beyond logic or judgment. They sense what adults have learned to ignore. When a child or an animal easily approaches you, it is because they recognize something good. A welcoming, light, safe energy. Have you noticed that even in unfamiliar places, children look at you with curiosity and trust? Or that animals come close, lie at your feet, or remain calm when they are near you? This is a powerful sign. They do not understand words, nor do they care about appearances. They feel the soul, and your soul transmits peace. This happens because you carry a vibration that conveys balance and protection. It doesn't matter if you are talkative or reserved. Your frequency does not depend on what you say, but on who you are. Children, for example, feel at ease with genuine people. They gravitate toward those who radiate love effortlessly. Animals, on the other hand, are drawn to those who have a clean heart and a calm mind. Your inner light, even if you do not see it, is visible to these innocent beings. This behavior does not happen with everyone. It is yet another proof that you carry a special energy, something connected to the divine. Even if adults do not always perceive it, the purest beings know when they are in the presence of an elevated soul. They trust you because your presence does not represent a threat. On the contrary, it is a shelter, and this reveals how much your essence is aligned with something greater. Proof 4. You feel like you are always being watched. Even when you are silent, standing still, or just passing through a place, you feel as if the eyes of the world are upon you. Sometimes, it's a fixed gaze on public transport. Other times, it's that strange sensation of being watched even when you're alone. And no matter how much you try to ignore it, this happens frequently. It's not paranoia, it's spiritual perception. Ordinary people do not provoke this kind of attention. But those with a strong inner light carry a presence that does not go unnoticed, either in the physical or spiritual realm. Your energy is like a flame lit in the dark. Even if you do not speak, your essence draws attention. This does not happen because you are showing off, but because your vibration reaches others even before you introduce yourself. Beyond people's perception, there is also a constant spiritual watchfulness. Greater forces accompany you because your life has purpose. Being chosen means having an important role on Earth, and therefore the invisible world pays attention to every step you take. The good watches over you to guide and protect you. The evil watches you because it fears you and wants to divert you from your path. This constant feeling of being observed may seem uncomfortable at first, but it is actually a sign of your importance. The universe is attentive to what you do because it knows what you represent. Your presence carries impact. Your journey is followed by human and spiritual eyes. You do not walk alone. You carry a calling, and this naturally attracts looks, both of curiosity and respect, visible and invisible. Proof 5. Your life has been marked by intense and seemingly unexplainable struggles. From a very young age, you faced difficulties that seemed to have no explanation. While other people lived more lightly, you found yourself in the midst of conflicts, losses, rejections, or pains that seemed disproportionate to your age or situation. These battles emerged from nowhere, as if life were constantly putting you to the test. And even without understanding the reason, you kept moving forward, carrying an invisible burden. What many do not realize is that the greatest spiritual wars are fought by those who have a greater purpose. Being chosen does not mean having an easy life. On the contrary, it means you were born with a mission, and this mission requires preparation. The trials do not arise to destroy you, but to strengthen the structure you need to fulfill your calling. Every fall taught you something. Every pain shaped you. You may have asked yourself many times, why me? And that is a fair question. But over time you realize that the scars you carry are not marks of weakness, but symbols of your resilience. While others crumbled with small frustrations, you endured deep losses and continued with faith. This is because there is something in you that refuses to give up, a strength that is uncommon. Many around you cannot understand the weight you carry because it is not always visible. But it exists. And more than that, it has purpose. You are being shaped to be a bridge for others, a light in the darkness, support for those who still do not know how to rise. God allowed you to go through these battles because He knew you were capable of transforming them into strength and wisdom. The wars you face are proof of how dangerous you are to the forces that operate in darkness. Your light is unsettling. Your faith disarms chaos. That is why you have been attacked so fiercely. But it is also why you have survived. Because even when hurt, you are someone who was born to resist, grow, and transform suffering into purpose. Proof 6. Your words have a weight that touches, confronts, or transforms. You may not even realize it, but when you speak, something changes around you. Even if you use few words, they seem to hit a deep point in those who listen. Some people fall silent after hearing you. Others react with surprise, discomfort, or emotion. It's not just what you say. It's the way your speech carries truth, intensity, and purpose. Your voice, even if ordinary, conveys something extraordinary. You do not always consider yourself an eloquent person. Sometimes you are simply expressing what you feel or think. But your words have an impact because they come from a higher source. You speak with the soul, not just with the mouth. And those who listen feel it. Many even try to discredit you, but they cannot ignore the strength with which your speech hits them, even when they disagree. You have the gift of saying things that others avoid. You express truths that many hide or are afraid to face. This may drive some people away, but it also attracts those who are ready to grow. Your advice lingers in the minds of those who hear it. Your opinions prompt reflection. Your conversations become turning points in someone's life. And you are not always aware of how much you have marked someone with a simple word. Sometimes, even when you are silent, your presence already communicates something. But when you choose to speak, a natural power manifests. You do not speak to impress. You speak because you need to, because you feel there is something important to be said. And for that reason, your speech confronts lies, exposes the truth, shakes off apathy, and awakens those who were dormant. Being chosen also means carrying the responsibility of using words wisely. Your voice is an instrument. That is why you often feel that you cannot remain silent in the face of error, injustice, or others' pain. You were born to communicate something greater. And every time you speak with truth, you transform environments, people, and realities, even if unintentionally. Proof 7. Your eyes transmit something that goes beyond the visible. There is something in your eyes that draws attention, even when you are not trying. People look at you and for a moment seem to lose focus, as if they are accessing something they cannot explain. Some quickly look away, while others stare longer than usual. It's as if your eyes reveal more than what is allowed, a silent yet profound truth. Those who are spiritually sensitive notice this depth right away. You have probably heard phrases like, "You have a different gaze," "Your eyes are intense," or "It seems like you see into people's souls." This happens because your eyes are not just seeing the external world. They are connected to something greater. Your soul, aligned with the divine, shines through your gaze. You see beyond appearances, beyond what is said. You can perceive pain disguised by a smile, fear hidden behind anger, the truth that no one wants to face. And this is reflected in your eyes. That is why many times people feel exposed near you, even if you do not say anything. Your eyes speak, and what they say touches where no one else can reach. This trait is both a gift and a responsibility. Seeing beyond the ordinary also means carrying a different kind of sensitivity. You feel the environment, sense hidden intentions, and pick up vibrations that most ignore. And while all of this may seem natural to you, it is rare. Your eyes show what is inside you: light, awareness, empathy, and a connection to invisible realities. Perhaps that is why you do not like to stare for too long at those who lie or manipulate. You feel the discomfort, the tension, the resistance. It's as if your spiritual vision, conveyed by your gaze, disturbs those who live hidden behind masks. Your gaze is like a mirror. It shows what is inside. And not everyone is ready to see themselves with such clarity. The eyes are considered the window to the soul. In your case, that window is always open. And it reveals not only who you are, but also allows you to access parts of others that are locked away. For this reason, your gaze can be healing for some and confronting for others. It transmits truth, even when you are silent. This is something that cannot be learned. It is something that you carry. So if you have noticed uncomfortable stares or unexpected compliments about your way of looking, understand, this is yet another proof that you carry a different essence. Your eyes speak the language of the spirit, and this never goes unnoticed. Proof 8. You experience both spiritual favor and invisible opposition. Have you ever found yourself being helped in situations where everything indicated that it would go wrong? Doors opened unexpectedly, problems resolved at the last minute, and people showed up right when you needed support. These moments of deliverance and synchronicity are no coincidence. They are clear signs that there is something greater protecting you, guiding your steps even when you cannot see it. Spiritual opposition is real. It manifests in the form of distractions, emotional confusions, and even direct attacks on your peace. This happens because your life has an impact, and your mission threatens systems of lies, fear, and control. You represent transformation, truth, and light. And where there is light, darkness reacts. But the important thing to remember is, every struggle you face reveals how important you are to the divine plan. You may get tired, but you will never be destroyed. Every obstacle you overcome is proof that you are advancing spiritually. The resistance you face is proportional to the greatness of your calling. What you carry disturbs the invisible, but it also attracts support from heaven. You walk between the two worlds, feeling the attacks, but also being guarded by forces that many do not even believe exist. If you have experienced miracles and wars simultaneously, blessings and pressures, protection and silent persecutions, this is confirmation. You are chosen. And a chosen one lives on the battlefield because you were called to win, teach, and transform. Proof 9. There is a spiritual loneliness that the world cannot fill. Even surrounded by people, you often feel a difficult to explain emptiness. It is not common sadness, nor social isolation. It is a deeper loneliness, as if there were a distance between you and the world around you. It is a feeling that, no matter how much they try to understand you, no one truly accesses what you carry within. This loneliness is not a flaw. It is a sign of calling. Chosen people often experience this feeling from an early age. While others are satisfied with superficial conversations, you seek meaning. While some feel good in crowds, you prefer the company of silence. Your soul asks for depth, truth, and real connection. And as the world offers the opposite, haste, distraction, and appearance, you feel like you do not completely belong in this place. This spiritual loneliness is, in fact, a compass. It is not there to hurt you, but to remind you of where you came from and where you are going. It is a constant calling to return to your essence, to seek your divine origin, and connect with something greater. This type of emptiness cannot be filled with compliments, distractions, or achievements. It only comes when you align with your purpose. Perhaps you have tried to fill this space with friendships, relationships, work, or even forced spirituality. But none of that lasted. And do you know why? Because what your soul seeks is not external. It is a reconnection with the original purpose of your existence. It is the reminder that you are not sent to the world to get lost in the noise, but to carry light amidst it, even if that means walking alone many times. Many great spiritual figures in history went through this type of loneliness, not because they were rejected, but because they were ahead of their time, with visions that the world did not yet understand. You may also be in this phase, and if you are, do not despair. This distance you feel is not absence, it is preparation. You are being shaped to carry a mission that cannot be shared with just anyone. No matter how lonely your journey may seem, you are not abandoned. God has never left. And this loneliness is often the necessary space for you to listen to the voice that speaks without noise. The voice of truth, of heaven, of your spirit. When you accept this loneliness as part of the path, you will realize that it is, in fact, divine companionship disguised as silence. And what would energy similar to God's be like? Trying to explain what energy like God's is can be a challenge, because it transcends human senses. But those who have felt this presence know it is not something that is seen, it is something that is recognized within oneself. It is an invisible force that transforms the environment, touches hearts, and silences the soul. This energy does not scream, it calms. It does not force, it guides. And it never imposes, it inspires. The energy of God is peace, even in the midst of chaos. It does not depend on external circumstances to manifest. You may be facing the most difficult days of your life, and even so, feel a tranquility that makes no logical sense. It is as if something is holding you together inside, preventing you from collapsing, even when everything seems to be falling apart. This strength does not come from you, but acts through you. Those who carry an energy similar to God's transmit this unknowingly. Their presence heals without medicine, consoles without words, and calms without needing to explain. People feel good around you, not because you have anything material to offer, but because your spirit conveys safety, truth, and authenticity. And all of this happens because your frequency is in tune with something greater. This energy moves with compassion, with pure and selfless love. It forgives easily, understands without judging, and helps without seeking recognition. It is a light that does not go out, even in dark environments. It is firm, but not violent. It is strong, but never aggressive. It is serene, but unbeatable. It is the presence of God manifesting in simple gestures, sincere attitudes, and true words. It also confronts, because the light that heals also exposes. People who live hiding their wounds or masking their intentions may feel uncomfortable around someone who carries this energy. Not because you are doing something wrong, but because your essence reveals what is hidden in others. Divine energy does not accept disguises. It calls for the truth, and not everyone is ready for that. Having energy similar to God's is not about being perfect, but about being willing to be a channel. It is accepting that your life has a greater purpose than just living for yourself. It is loving even when you do not receive love. It is serving even when no one thanks you. It is forgiving even when everything inside you wants to take revenge. Because this energy does not come from the ego. It is born from the spirit. If you have ever felt this force flowing through you, know that this is not imagination. It is a real connection. You are in tune with the source. And the more you allow this energy to shape you, the more you will be able to transform the world around you, with light, with purpose, with God in you. Some truths do not need to be explained. They are felt. And when you feel, there is no way to pretend you didn't see. Throughout each part of this content, what has been revealed is not something new, but something that has been pulsating within you for a long time. Something the world tried to silence, but that never completely extinguished. you know you are different. Not out of vanity, but because you carry marks that cannot be copied. Your experiences, your way of seeing life, the depth of what you feel, all of this sets you apart from the ordinary. And now, more than ever, it is time to firmly embrace this identity, without apologizing for being who you are. You do not need to fit in. You are not born to adapt to what is shallow, false, or fleeting. You have a mission that demands depth, clarity, and courage, and you do not need the world to validate you. What you carry already speaks for itself. Your presence has impact. Your energy has purpose. Your journey has meaning, even when no one else understands. It will not always be easy. There will be days of silence, fatigue, and doubt. But none of this negates the fact that you are a bearer of a light that transforms. Each battle, each rejection, each loss, all have been part of a path of strengthening. You are not broken, you are sculpted. And now, it is time to walk with more awareness and authority over who you truly are. Leave in the comments what resonated with you most in this content. Which part touched your soul the most deeply? Share your truth, your vision, your experience. Not for exposure, but because your voice can be the thread connecting others to their own essence. You do not need to shout to be heard. Just be. And being, for those who are chosen, is already more than enough.